Jairson. This is NDBaker93, and let's tell a story. So today, I did something interesting for the future of our group right here. I started to build what's sort of like an advertising campaign for Snapchat and Instagram. Right now, I have followers who kind of are really connected to what the projects that I'm working on, either because they're good friends of mine that I've made in the past, or they've kind of come in contact with the projects that I've been building. And so what I did basically was, on this little paper right here, I figured out that the best way to get people from those sites to getting deeper into the YouTube stuff we're doing, deeper into the content that we're making, was to figure out how to tell a story through the videos that I post on my social media, and let that story bring the people in instead of trying to like tell them to do it. So the story that I'm telling online is the story of how Nick and I met, how Norm came to be involved with what we're doing, and where we're going next. It's basically going to go bit by bit into what we're doing, going to give backstory for each and every one of us, and then talk about the deep message we're going for. The fact that we're trying to show how the individual can become much more powerful than they were ever led to believe. So the plan is simple. Every day I post a thumbnail and a blurb explaining what the video is and why people might be interested in it. Once a week, I set up myself for either the next week or next month, so that I don't have to constantly be thinking about every single day where the campaign has to go next. If I set it up ahead of time, then it's a lot simpler for me to just do really, it shouldn't take more than 2 or 3 minutes, and then move on to whatever else I am doing on that day. And this is a really great way to connect with the people watching, because it doesn't just show every single video, but it kind of, by developing that story, by showing a path, it gives people a reason, a curiosity as to what's coming next. So really simply, what this video is a quick lesson on how to use storytelling to grow your audience. Right now, I'm covered for 1 week. And once that week's over, I'll have to develop this a little further. So I can either do it for a week again or for a longer period of time. I'm gonna go for probably either a month or longer. That way I don't have to do this too often, because building the campaign itself takes the most thought process. But in about 20 minutes, you can really set yourself up for several weeks. That way, all you have to do is look at what's next for that day, and then find a solid time each and every day that your audience will know you will be posting. And once you have that time, just every day, put down what you said you were going to. So look at your list, figure out what day it is, and post about that day. Move on.
So how do you plan to bring your 300 followers to become 3,000?
I'm slowly switching over to this is good for you to know. I'm slowly switching over to Instagram, because and bringing the people who are watching me over already. I started this Monday, I believe. No, Saturday. And basically, I have several ongoing plot lines that are a part of Snapchat, so either related to Cutco, related to Haven, related to whatever. So as the weeks go on, I'm slowly moving the plot lines over to Instagram, and getting the people to move over. when I told them I was doing this, I immediately had about 70 people follow my Instagram. But I want to try to get as many over there as possible, because Snapchat's a really good way to have a personal connection with the people who see your stories. But it's also pretty difficult to grow without having a public space where people can enter. So I'm looking.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean is people can't see your Snapchat unless they have your username, and there's no real reason for people to kind of come to see what your story is if they don't have some idea of who you are, like what your presence is, what you're offering, right? So for the people that are already connected to your Snapchat, it's a very deep, very meaningful experience. But there's no outreach just within Snapchat to get more followers. Without just what I've done in the past is ask people to share me on their story, and that will gain me, like, every time I ask, I get maybe somewhere between 5 and 7 more viewers that kind of come in. But that's a very slow way to do it, versus on Instagram, your stories are public. And so that means I have to curate my stories a little bit more so they're more, family friendly. But it also offers the opportunity for people who are just on the app to see the stories and start developing that relationship, right? And so bit by bit, I'm just moving the plot lines over. So the only one that I've moved over so far in Instagram is Cutco. I am choosing to not create a specific plan as to how I'm going to move the plot lines over, because I am sort of watching how the interactions with the people on Snapchat go, so that I can be adaptable and see what will work the best.
What's your Instagram address?
It's Jairson0. It's the same as my Snapchat, which is also Jairson0. And if you want to look me up in any way, all you have to do is search up Jairson's Game of Life, and I'll come up on a number of different social media. So that was a quick look into how to grow your audience using storytelling. It was also a little bit of a look into how to switch from one social media to another, and possible strategies to use in order to do so effectively. I hope that was helpful, and I'll continue to talk about how these strategies work as I continue to enact them. I'll see you guys again soon. This was Jairson and NDBaker93.